what we're dealing with is a regular relationship between a man and a woman. But all the principles that we do share today, they're also applicable. Most of them are applicable to maybe if you got a close friend of yours, somebody that you're in friendship with, there's still some dynamics that you have to work in that relationship. All right, so let's get started with couples communication. And we'll start off with Proverbs 18 and 21, where it says the power of life and death is in the tongue. The power of life and death is in the tongue. You read that in your devotion, you go back to verses 20, it says that that you will eat by the fruit of the words that have come out of your mouth. So communication is very important. So if we could rephrase that, this is what it would read like. It would say that the power of life and death is in your ability to communicate. So if you communicate right, you can bring life. If you don't communicate right, then that can bring the death of that relationship, the death of a particular area where you've been struggling, and now the other party don't even want to talk about it because you bring death with your words. So it's very important to understand that the power of life and death is in the tongue. Why do we communicate? That's a good question. Why do we communicate? Anybody? Why do we communicate? Why? For what? Emotional. Oh, that's big. We're going to go back and touch that before the day is over. Emotional connection. Anybody else? Why do we communicate? Why do we talk? Why? Pass information. Anybody else? Convey thoughts. I'm eating, Pastor, don't bother me. Okay, so the big key here, and you guys said it, the first thing you want to do, you want to convey information. Okay, and it starts with basic information. Now, if we're dealing with a husband and wife, then when they come home, it's basic communication. Hey, how you doing? How was your day? And the wife said, well, your son jumped off the roof again. Just regular stuff. That's all. Yeah. Then once you start talking about regular stuff, then one of the other reasons that we communicate is because we're in partnership. Is that right? Amen. We're in partnership. So you got to talk to me and let me know if you paid that bill. I need to know that. I need to know if you spent the money at Walmart, you don't have enough for the bill. Because we're in partnership. Can somebody say partnership? Partnership. Very important to understand that. Then the next one is conflict. We all will experience conflict. Every normal relationship will go through conflict, but you want to go through it. You want to pass through that valley of the shadow of death. This is what you don't want, though. You don't want to stack up and build up conflict. Yeah. At some point, the conflict has to go through a process. Can somebody say a process? You got to get that conflict moving. It has to be a process, because when you don't, then conflict, it just has a way of just kind of building up and accumulating. And when conflicts accumulate, it's not a good thing for human nature. Okay, we start tripping out, we start acting out. And the fourth one I want to share with you is very important for what we'll be talking about today. One of the reasons we communicate is for connection. We're trying to connect with the other person. I want you to hear what I'm thinking, and then I need you to feel what I feel. And as Bernays said, humans connect at the emotion level. Isn't that something? We can talk the same in our heads, but until you can feel what I'm feeling, we're not going to make a connection. And if the connection is not made, then our communication is going to be off, or it's going to be ineffective communication. So I need to, tell me how you think. I want to know that, but I have to know how things make you feel. And if you say, well, I'm not a feely person, I don't like sharing my feelings. Well, if you want to be in a good relationship, even a friend relationship, you're going to have to learn how to share your feelings. Amen. And especially for men, but I don't get into all that. We need to listen. Your spouse needs to know how you feel. Because if they know how you feel, then they know, stay away from that area. If that's an area where you don't like, you're not comfortable with, they can stay away from that area. But one of the reasons we communicate is because we want to connect. Can somebody say connect? Connect. Now, when you get to a closer relationship, you're really talking about bonding. You have to learn how to bond, especially with your partner. And you also learn how to, you also learn how to bond with friends. When the Lord said, therefore shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, that's not only meant for marriage. You still need to know how to go outside your marriage, watch this, and have relationships with others of the same sex. Friend relationships and things of that nature, okay? That's what we do. That's how we build support. And I can show, I can show you a marriage that's struggling when they don't have any connection with somebody else outside their relationship. Another Christian. You need to connect with another Christian family that's believing God in order for you to get better. God has built us to be in community, not to be islands. Somewhere in a corner think you're the only one going through what you're going through. That's not the way it was meant to be. We were built for community. So you're going to have to get out and find other families, go to dinner with them or have them come over, meet them at a park, do something, go skating, try something. The thing is, when you listen to other people, you begin to see that you're normal.
Yes.
You're normal. Without community, we think that we got some special problem. We got special needs, and that's why we can't get our needs met, because ours is unique. No, listen, you're human just like everybody else. And the sooner you connect with another couple, you begin to see how normal you are. And somebody say, I'm normal.
I'm normal.
That's right, you're normal. You are. No, say it again, you're normal.
I'm normal.
Okay, how many problems you got? You're normal. You may not know how to process them, but you're normal. It is normal for couples to have conflict. Very important. Now, one thing I think that has really wreaked havoc on our ability to communicate is social media. I ain't hear nothing about it. Social media, it is, well, let me give you some statistics. 40% of all couples, listen closely, 40% of all couples that was taken in a survey, they said that one of the components that made them think about divorce, not the only thing, but one of the components was social media. Isn't that something? And we know that social media it has its good uses, but of course as humans we begin to use all sorts of things, and then it don't work out. But isn't that interesting? 40% of people who are considering divorce, they put down as social media as a problem. 1 out of 7 couples say they have considered divorce because of their spouse's excessive use of social media. Oh, are you guys hearing this? That's pretty serious, isn't it? So social media does have its place, but social media is not meant to build up your most closest relationships. In fact, when you're with the person you want to be close to, you need to turn that phone off. Amen. And sometimes I don't even, when I usually call people, ask them, this is a good time for me to call. I called a friend this week of the church, and I felt like, oh man, I probably should have probably not called. But the thing is, because when you're sitting down in a relationship with someone, I'm trying to connect. Remember, that's one of the reasons we communicate. I'm trying to connect with you. I'm trying to connect with you, but you're connected to everybody else in social media.